Hey, all you fellow GPS teachers. I think I figured out how to get the kids into small groups. And in all honesty, it looked like because they were in small groups, it wasn't as glitchy as when I was trying to have 30 kids in one class. So, with any luck, and if Cisco can get it together with the whole WebEx team, that would be, or the big group, that'd be fine. But for now, yeah, for now, it seems like this will work because I did it today and I did it with my students. They really want to be able to talk to each other. And so I had to figure out a way for them to be able to have lunch buddies. So I set up lunch tables. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do lunch tables, I might as well call them breakout groups too. I'll use the same exact link. The cool thing about it was I was able to watch every single group, all 5 groups, at the bottom of my screen so I could see what they were doing. And depending on which one I clicked on, I could hear what was going on in each of the groups. And I mean, I had the kids do a whole pinky promise about, if somebody comes into your lunch table, you're welcoming them because if I find out that anybody's being disrespectful or whatever, I'm shutting it down. You guys can figure out how you're going to talk otherwise. So anyway, this is how I did it. It should not take me very long to explain it, even though I love to talk because I'm getting to talk to people again. Okay, so I clicked on, well, all right, so here we go. You guys recognize this whole little scene, don't you? Okay, so we go into this and we go down to WebEx when we find it. Now, I know that they've got these WebEx teams, and I haven't taken the training to know how to use it yet, so it might even be better, but this worked. And at this point, I just needed something that worked. Okay, so when you go in, you are going to wait, which of course you are ready and waiting to do this all the time, aren't we? Okay, you're going to go into your own personal office, but instead of just starting the meeting in your office, you're going to go to schedule. So click schedule. And I did this last spring because I had 3 different groups of science and social studies. So what you're going to do is you're going to label this. So I labeled mine lunch table A, and then I called it breakout room A. Okay. And then what I did for the time is now it's not going to open until you actually start the meeting. So you can decide when you want it to. But I thought, you know what? I might use this in the morning during science or social studies, or I could use it in math. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to lock myself in to only being able to use it during certain times. I'm like, forget it. I'm going to put it in there as being from 8:30 in the morning because there's no way I'm going to get going before 8:30 with these kids. We've got morning announcements and stuff. I'm going to start at 8:30 and I ran it for 7 hours. Okay? And then I started it. It doesn't really matter what, but click the date. Now, here's where you want to click recurrence. I wanted this every single day. But I want it to shut down so that there's no chance that they're getting on this when they're not in school or anything like that. Because I want to still be the one in charge of what's going on in there and I want to be able to watch. So I don't want them unattended in my room. Lord knows how that would go. Okay, so I've put that in there. I've got it as a reoccurring event and I click schedule. And now it populates it. So all I did was I went through and I highlighted the meeting link, copied it, and um, I put it into my um, Google, I put it onto a Google document, and then I shared it with my kids' homeroom class. And they're kind of excited because I told them if they behave this week, then I'm going to allow um, the another class to join us for lunches. And as long as and I told them I'm recording these things, behave yourselves, don't be goofy or I'm going to cancel it. So then they decide. So they kind of talk with their friends and they're like, okay. And I actually taught them sign language. So they're like looking at each other, trying to decide, okay, I'm going to go to A. How about you? I'm going to B. so they were kind of trying to make up their own decisions while we were finishing the lesson, but whatever. And so then at lunchtime, all I had to do was when I went to this, I went into my hello, where am I? I went into my WebEx room and I had to start the meeting. So tomorrow morning, I'll start group E, start group D, start group, A, B, C, D. I'll start all my groups tomorrow. And then when I want them to, I can take them in there. But what was so cool is, and let me see if I can show you really fast. What was so cool is that they will show up down at the bottom. So I was able to actually see everybody. Now, admittedly, I decided I did not want my face in every screen because technically I'm hosting it and you can only have your video moving in one screen. So I just have my little static face there. And the first one will be the one that shows. But I went ahead and shrunk them down. And when I said start meeting, start meeting, start meeting, and then these groups all populated, and then I was able to line them up down along the bottom of my screen, and it was fun, and the kids had a blast, and this way I've got them and I can use them, and I think it'll only get better as um, our Cisco thing works better so that we're not, stressing out and trying to have it. But anyway, you can see them at the bottom and you can use all of them. So, yeah, hopefully that works for you because it worked for me today. And I think having smaller groups keeps it from being so glitchy, but I could be wrong. So, anyway, good luck.